Welcome back to our video series on creating a coronavirus data analyzer. In this video, we will be showing the daily difference in the actual data. So in other words, if there were 17 cases on March 1st and there were 24 on March 2nd, we would say there was an increase of 7. So yeah, and then we're going to have it show the actual numbers and then the percent change from the previous day. That's lots of times when we're looking at exponential growth, we're going to see that we're expecting to see that percentage change remain in the same ballpark. So around 20%. Once that starts dipping down, that percent change starts getting closer and closer to a 0% change from the previous day, then that's when we know we're kind of rounding out. All right, so to do this, we're going to create a new method. Go figure. And again, I'm really bad at naming things. So let's just say def daily change. Okay. Now again, we're gonna have this be for the entire course of our actual data. So all the way back to the beginning of our actual data. So recall that we have some instance variables. We have our dictionary, which is holding our actual data, and we have our dates. All right. Recall that our dictionary is actually, as we can see here, remember it's a date paired with a number of cases on that date. What we're going to do is we're going to start off, I'm just going to go, let's see here, we have, let's say data equals self.us data dot values. Yeah, and we're going to turn that into a list. We'll say list of, right? And so now if I just print data, and again, I know that compare models working, show for your future predictions working. So I'm going to say c dot daily change, and we'll go ahead and run this, and we can see all of our data. Cool. So what we need, so it's okay. So I'm gonna put a comment here. I'll put a comment here. Let's have it display the number of cases on a day, as well as the increase in cases over the previous day. Right, so it's going to display the number of cases on a day and then the increase over the previous day. Okay, so we have our data here. So what we can do is we should just be able to do like a for loop, right? So what we should be able to say is for I in range from 1 to the len of data. Okay. Now, a couple of things. Day 1, right? Day 1 has an infinite increase. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a special print statement for that. I'm just going to say printf, and again, I'm going to say self.dates, index 0, and then we'll say data at index 0. I wanted to say something, so that's going to be like the number of cases. I wanted to say like increased by a certain number or decreased by a certain number. So I'm just going to put dash dash, and then I'm going to put parentheses dash dash. Okay, and that's because This first day, there's no change over the previous day. In future days, we're actually gonna put something else here. I'm not quite sure how we're gonna format that yet, but we'll get there. Okay, so for I in range, starting at index 1, what we want to do is we're going to get the difference, which would be, we're expecting it to, today's to be larger than yesterday's. So what we're going to do is we're going to say data at index I minus data at index I minus 1. So that's the previous day, right? And then I'm going to say %diff, which would be the previous day divided by the difference. So I'm going to say data at I minus 1 divided by the difference. Right? Times 100. That way we can say %. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use an f string. Say printf self.dates at index I. I'm basically just following the same format as here. So it'll be data at index I. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a parenthesis, and then there's this special symbol that looks kind of like an up arrow. It's a little triangle. I'll put a link to how to get that, I suppose, or you should be able to look in your character map on your computer, to find it. But it's just a nifty little looking symbol. And we'll go ahead and put diff followed by that. And then we're going to do the %diff. And let's go ahead and just have that be to 1 decimal place. It's a floating point number, so ::0.1f. And then I'll put the % symbol at the end, followed by a parenthesis. Okay, so what that means is right here where this is, then I'm just going to go ahead and put nothing. Okay, so let's see, and then I don't want to print data here. All right, so let's see what this looks like. Division by 0. Well, yeah, of course there is, right? Because some of them are the same. So if diff is equal to 0, then %diff is equal to 0, right? It's a 0% change. Otherwise, right, there we go. All right, now let's see here. So this looks okay. We'll change the alignment here in a moment. These percentages are clearly wrong though. So what's going on with that? So let's think about what's happening here. It went up by 772. Well, this error really should have given me, I should have known what was happening. So if you noticed what I did wrong here, then good. Otherwise, this should be the difference divided by the data, which means if the difference is 0, we get 0 divided by something. I should have caught that. Sorry about that. So it's going to be diff divided by the data, which means we don't need this if statement. Because, yeah. All right. Now let's try it again. Cool. And so now, again, we can see, that there was no change on certain days, right? Other days there was more, and so we can see that, as time went on, we kind of see this % increase, some different spikes and stuff. But yeah, that's sort of to be expected when we first started testing and things, right? So the 75% spike wasn't terribly shocking when that happened. Let's go ahead and get this aligned a little bit better. So the dates, same problem as last time, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put a colon. Notice the colon is inside the curly braces. Let's go ahead and right align this to 7. For the data, these numbers, again, like last time, we wouldn't expect more than, 1 million at some point maybe. So we're going to go left align to 8. Let's go ahead and save that and see what that looks like. That might, oh, you know what? And then we'll probably need to left align this one as well. So we'll left align this one to, we might see a change of in the 10,000s maybe. So let's see what this looks like. I don't like that space here. I don't think we're gonna align that. That looks kind of goofy. Try that again and see. Yeah, that looks okay. Yeah, I mean, that's all right. Pretty easy to read, I think. I might like it. This might look better. I mean, this might look better without the parentheses altogether. Let's see what it looks like without the parentheses. And then just have that at the end. Right, so if we do it that way, then we could go ahead and say left align this to 5. Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. Cool. Okay. So notice now if we put our last few things together here, we can kind of start getting a pretty good feel for, if we just do everything that we have so far, if we put everything together here, I'm going to uncomment most of these things. We'll do our plot. I'm going to go ahead and put the plot last, and that's because when it plots, it like stops the program, right? So I'm going to put the plot last. Now if we run this, all right, so we get our plot. Okay, we can then, while we're looking at our plot, we can analyze what's happening, right? So we can see, okay, so these are the actual growth rates, right? We can see, what our model is doing. So when we look at our graph itself, right? So when we're looking at our graph, we can kind of get a feel for what it's actually predicting, what those numbers are. That's handy. So yeah, so notice we're slowly but surely building a tool here that someone might actually want to use to analyze some data here. So we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. But that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Now, the one thing I want you to do is I want you to think of, or try to think of, something that we have not done yet that would be useful, right? So we look at this, right? Daily difference in actual data. We did that. We haven't plotted the daily difference yet, so that's on my to-do list. So that doesn't count. You can't say let's plot the daily difference. I want you to think of something that we haven't done with the data yet, as far as like looking at it or analyzing it in some shape, form, or fashion. And I want you to share those ideas, or be ready to share those ideas. What we could do in addition. You may not know how to do it, right? Don't worry about knowing how to do it. Just something that we could do. So, but that's going to be it for this video, like I said, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.